I was very much interested in science. Pathology is one branch where you are very close to research. If you have dream, you can fulfill it.
Welcome to Scientifically Yours, a program dedicated to women scientists of the country. Those women scientists who have made us proud, who have made nation proud by contributing significantly to the area of science, to the area of their expertise. Today we have with us Dr. Sunita Saxena, who has been director of National Institute of Pathology, ICMR. Before asking a question about science, let me ask you a question about your childhood memories. When you were a child and you were a student in a school, what brought you close to science? Were you right from the beginning interested in science, or you were interested in other subjects and gradually you became interested in science?
I think I have never thought of other than science. Because reaching till my high school level, I was very much interested in science, and maths was very strong subject with me. So being a student of maths and science, so I never thought of any other subject besides science.
But science is a vast area. Normally, people think that maths is a very difficult thing, but you were good in mathematics, and that became probably the language of science, and therefore you were good in science. How did you come to medical sciences?
Yeah, that's like when I took this biology in my 11th. My maths teacher was very much disappointed getting highest marks in maths, and even then going to biological science. I chose biology. There were two reasons. One, my father was very much interested. He was a social worker, and he wanted everyone to, all my brother and sister, he wanted them to become doctor so that we could serve the pupil. And
Why doctors?
because he thought that doctors can do more for people than others. That's his thinking.
To become a doctor was a fashion during that days. It was
No,
held in
he
very
thought
high
no, no,
esteem.
no. He thought that he thought as a noble profession.
And becoming a doctor was a major thing during those days. If you could cross that limit
Yeah, it
and
was.
get into,
Yeah, getting
there were no
admission.
private institutions, it
Yeah,
was government
all,
institutions.
getting
All
admission was not easy at that
very
time.
difficult.
It was very competitive. But I changed my this, and I also thought that it could be a very noble profession, and that's the reason I took pathology, not gone into clinical, because my maths background has given me a logical background that you can think of, because pathology is more thinking about what is the etiology, pathology, like what is the reason why disease is there. So there I think my maths background has helped me.
How do you feel about science? What is science?
Yeah, science is generating new knowledge and allaying your curiosity, and I think allaying the myths also. Like with new knowledge, you can the people who are having myths, you can remove those myths, and that new knowledge you generate can be useful to the human being.
So, science is a body of knowledge where there are no holy books, there are no holy men, there are no holy women. There is nothing that a woman cannot do in science.
Definitely, definitely.
So, everybody can.
I don't believe there is difference between men and women.
But that is when you have achieved this position of directorship in a national institute. When you were a child or a student, and later on, did you feel any impediment or hurdles because you were a woman that you were probably discriminated? Is there any incident in life?
I have been a privileged one, getting birth in a family where there was no discrimination. But I know there are people who, there are families, and at that time there was discrimination. But I feel I am little privileged. We were three sisters and one brother, and all of them were given the
This
same
was a
education.
legacy of freedom movement?
Yes, my both parents were freedom fighter. So my father and mother both had participated in freedom movement.
Movement.
So we have a very open atmosphere at home.
And these
So
were the values that were
yes,
ingrained in the freedom movement, which was passed on to younger generation like you.
yes, yes.
This was the era which is called as Nehruvian era in the country, where the nation building was a major project. And you were lucky that you belong to that era where women of freedom fighters were encouraged a lot to become doctors and engineers, and we were.
I have told you, my father has encouraged my mother also. She got married at very young age, maybe I think 16, I don't remember. But after that, she participated in freedom movement, and when they got the freedom was achieved, she was trained as a doctor. And so it started from there. It's not me or our siblings. It is my mother. From my mother's time, we had that atmosphere in my home.
How do you look at the schooling part of it?
My parents, both of them were working. My father was a principal in a college, but it is a middle class family. What is required is given to us.
Okay.
And
But in the school, did teachers inspire you?
teachers were also value based at that time, and I was in a not convent and not other school. It was a very like a government school
In Roorkee.
in Roorkee. So it was a value based teaching and a very middle class level, not
Middle.
convent and not
And
that.
still you could excel.
Yeah. It was a Arya Kanya Pathshala inter college. So this was not a convent but the education level at that time was different and it was quite good. And I think the science has come from one batch before me.
In the school, it was introduced a batch before you.
Yeah.
We'll come back to the discussion. Don't go anywhere. I have to take a break, but we'll be back.
कैसे हुआ आसमान नीला,
पानी को कौन करता गीला,
ये धरती क्यों है गोल,
हमारे जीवन में सूरज का क्या है रोल, हवाई जहाज हवा में कैसे उड़ जाता,
पूरी को कौन है भुलाता,
कौन भरता इंटरनेट में इंफॉर्मेशन,
क्या कभी हवा भी होगी रेशन।
सोचोगे नहीं तो पता कैसे चलेगा विज्ञान प्रसार, ताकि हर निर्णय ज्ञान आधारित हो। विज्ञान प्रसार A50 Institutional Area Sector 62 Noida. Email info@vigyanprasad.gov.in. Website www.vigyanprasad.gov.in.
Welcome back to Scientifically Yours. Today we have with us Dr. Sunita Saxena, who has been director of National Institute of Pathology, ICMR. Why did you choose pathology as your specialization?
Pathology is
It's a difficult area.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult area. Let me tell our viewers that it's a very difficult area. Not only difficult area, you don't become a doctor in that sense, where lots of people will come to you and you can make lots of money. You are dedicated to science and scientific investigation. But it's very important for doctors to diagnose without pathology no medical science can be even conceived of. Why did you choose this?
So I think you have answered part of my your question. Pathology is the backbone of medical science. Like as you say that we give the diagnosis to the clinician. One thing is that, and without our diagnosis, they can't treat. We have to confirm their clinical assumptions that okay, what clinical features they think that it could be this, and we confirm okay what they are thinking is right or wrong, and so they can treat that patient. And second most important thing why I chose it, because pathology is involved in all the branches of medicine, like in medicine, surgery, say gynae, and everywhere the pathology is involved in all the branches. And then you are very close to research. Pathology is one branch where you are very close to research, and there you can do research in any, like it is close to any branch, so you can choose any branch to do the research.
Then again you chose a very, very difficult area of research, which is cancer and breast cancer.
Yes.
So how do you look at that now? Did you make a right choice? Because you could have chosen any other area of investigation.
Yeah, earlier, like when I joined my service, at that time I was working in different area. I was working in kidney pathology, nephropathology, and this is pathology is also one area where the high throughput new techniques are coming one after another. So when I joined in 1982, at that time electron microscope had come at that time. So though at that time, like kidney disease, especially children, the diagnosis could not be done without using electron microscope. So I started using this electron microscope to give the diagnosis for these children who are suffering from kidney diseases. And then somehow it was per chance, the pediatrician with whom I was working, she left the city, she moved to Chennai, and so I couldn't follow the patient whom we were treating.
Okay.
So then there was another technique which was coming to pathology, which was immunohistochemistry, which could be used to give the diagnosis. So then I started using this technique to reach the diagnosis, and then I chose the breast cancer because this is one of the most common cancer
in the country.
In the country, and the problem with breast cancer is it is different than the Western population. Western population
in India, the
in
breast
India.
cancer and its characteristics is very different from what you find in
Western
countries.
population.
Okay.
In India,
What is the difference?
Yeah, in India, we 50% of the women are below 45 or 50 year of age. Yeah, and while
In India.
in India, while in Western country they are above 60 year of age. More than 60% women are 70% women are above 60 year of age. So what are the factors which are considered to be protective of women from breast cancer, like getting married at early age and getting child at early age and breastfeeding? All these women, they are coming from a very lower income group. In Western, this is considered to be cancer of high income group. So though these women are coming low or middle income group, they are younger in age, sometimes 25-year-old women who is unmarried, a girl, she comes with breast nodule. So it is very common, and most of the women, they got married at early age, they have first child at early age, which is considered to be very protective, and for 2 years they are breastfeeding, even then they have breast cancer. So it's totally, the reasons are totally different what are for breast cancer in Western
In the
women.
West.
So
And that was the question,
Yeah,
scientific question that you started probing and investigating.
yes.
Okay. When did you come to that situation where you could say Eureka?
I don't think so far I have reached, because getting Eureka in cancer is very difficult. But in one area I have got a situation in Eureka. We have been working in breast cancer in Northeast region also. So Northeast region, this habit of using betel quid and tobacco is very rampant. So the other cancers which were considered, which are associated with betel quid chewing and tobacco chewing, are usually oral cancer and esophageal cancer.
I understand
lung.
that 90% of the oral cancer across the world is in India. And
Yeah.
the reason is basically
Tobacco chewing.
Tobacco chewing.
But in this population, first time we showed that in the northeast population, where the women is using this betel quid, chewing the areca nut and tobacco, the breast cancer is associated not with other factors but betel quid chewing also. In
Is it
northeast-
also associated with the smoking?
Smoking? Not. Smoking is lung cancer.
Okay.
Smoking is lung cancer.
There is no statistical association which has been found between smoking and breast cancer.
No.
There is-
Yeah, like we first time showed not only epidemiologically, like collecting the factors and putting it, but we did the study tissue analysis also and high throughput analysis, where we showed, this is the mechanism by which how this betel quid chewing is causing cancer in this population and how it is different from other cancer which are not associated with betel quid. So this is one eureka point, but the journey is ongoing, and I hope we can get.
Which means that the social implication of what you have found is very simple.
Yeah.
That in northeastern region of the country, there should be a massive campaign where women are asked not to chew betel, and they should be forbidden or
Of course.
kept away from.
Yeah, they should know that they can get this breast cancer, not only oral and other cancer.
But don't you feel that ICMR has a responsibility now
Of course.
of doing this campaign in Northeast?
Yeah, we are doing. ICMR
You
is
are.
doing. ICMR has a institute in Dibrugarh, Regional Medical Research Center. From there, these campaigns are underway there, and we are not only doing campaign. We are now ICMR is taking this to medical colleges also. So this is one area where they can reach to community also, because medical colleges, they have more close association, and people first reach to medical college, then they go to some other.
Yeah.
So they play very
major role.
major role.
I'll have to take another break. It's very interesting debate that's going on. And don't go anywhere. We'll come back after the break.
कैसे हुआ आसमां नीला,
पानी को कौन करता गीला,
ये धरती क्यों है गोल,
हमारे जीवन में सूरज का क्या है रोल, हवाई जहाज हवा में कैसे उड़ जाता,
पूरी को कौन है बुलाता,
कौन भरता इंटरनेट में इंफॉर्मेशन,
क्या कभी हवा भी होगी रेशन।
सोचोगे नहीं तो पता कैसे चलेगा? विज्ञान प्रसार, ताकि हर निर्णय ज्ञान आधारित हो। विज्ञान प्रसार A50 Institutional Area Sector 62 Noida. Email info@vigyanprasar.gov.in. Website www.vigyanprasar.gov.in.
Let scientific temper be the basis for building nation. Welcome back to Scientifically Yours. Today we have Dr. Sunita Saxena. Dr. Saxena, as we were discussing, that now you have a problem, a question, investigation, you come to a conclusion and use, I'm sure you must have used a lot of statistical tools to arrive at the results. And then you come to a conclusion that in northeastern part of the country, there are women who are getting breast cancer at a very early age and very early stages, which is different from what we know of in Western countries, and then you have a solution to it. How much time did you take?
It's a long journey.
It must have been.
It is a long. First, we have to study the society. We have to identify the problem, and not only identify the problem, we have to identify the economical and socio-cultural reasons associated with.
And you can never say, give this answer that ye Bhagwan ki wajah se
No.
hota hai,
No,
it's God's
no,
will.
no,
This
no.
is never
No.
an answer to any
No.
of the questions
No.
that science asks. Yes.
So, with that, then you have to use science, and then we have to, like Northeast, they have a population, they have a very specific population. So, we have to identify the genetic factor. So, we have to combine the genetic factor, their environmental factors, what food they are using, how you are if they are using betel quid or tobacco, how they are using, is it same way which has been used at other region or it is different, and then we can do some high throughput technology, and combining all this can give us the answer. Then again we have to go back to the population to give the message, okay, this is the wrong thing.
You have written 95 research papers. 95th research paper of yours, all of them have been published in very highly cited journals. This 95th one carries 11 names other than yours, which means 12 names. So it has always been a teamwork.
Yes.
After Manhattan Project, science has been always a teamwork. How do you manage that? Because 12 people working, trying to crack one problem, writing a paper, getting it published, cited, etc., how do you manage that?
Actually, science, it is not an individual, it is always a teamwork.
And
We
you don't
to-
have a guru in this, that
No.
who sits and Lobanjala the
No,
aspas, and then it cannot be.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that. There is a center from where we get the specimen. So there is a team there who sees that the patient, we get all the information from the patient whom we are registering for our study. We get all the information, and the sample has to be collected in the proper form, otherwise we won't be able to do the proper work, we will not get the proper information. So this is
everybody
one
is
team.
involved.
Then comes the other team where this comes to lab, and then it is investigated, all the test has to be done, and credit also goes to PhD student. Most of the work has been done by the PhD student under our guidance, and the clinician, then lab work.
You started off your journey in ICMR, that is National Institute of Pathology, as a researcher, and you have risen one step by another step, and today you are director, and I'm sure you are proud director of the institute, of a very proud institute in the country. Then you have an experience of, you have grown with the institute, I'm sure.
Definitely.
And you know at what stage, what hurdles are faced by these students. How does it help you to encourage them?
It has helped me a lot, because I have grown with the institute, and I have seen what are the strength of the institute and where it needs to put more efforts. So with that, and then the whole staff, because I have grown with them, they are like my family members. But it's
How many
different.
girl students are there?
I'm very
What
proud
will be
to tell
the
you.
percentage?
I'm very proud to tell you. Somehow, it is not purposely, but all my PhD students are girls students.
All of them?
Yes.
Not a single male?
No, so far. 4 have already completed their thesis, like they have got the degree, and 3 are already working under me. One is verge of submitting.
So the
student.
scenario is changing. a very male-dominated domain, which
No,
is
my
science.
other colleague, somehow happened like the bunch of student we have, how it segregated. My other colleague, she got all the males and I got the females.
But generally, how many students are female students in your institute?
In my student, like total we have around 30 at a time. We do have 30 PhD students.
And how many of them would be?
Maybe between 60%.
60% girls.
Yeah.
Oh. So every woman in the country, every girl child in the country can do pathology. That is the message. Would you like to sign off with this message? Because we are running out of time. I would love to continue this conversation, but is there any message that you would like to give?
I think if you have dream, there is no gender bias. If you have dream, you can fulfill it with your focused vision and your hard work. And you can be a pathologist, you can be a scientist, and you can do anything.
That's a lovely message. Next week, we'll be introducing another as fascinating a personality as Dr. Sunita is. Keep watching our program. Every week, we'll be back with another personality.